Please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your word with boldness and share wisdom and insight to those who listen. The good news of Yeshua the Messiah, as reported by Metayehu, Matthew. This is the genealogy of Yeshua the Messiah, son of David, son of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Yitzhak. Yitzhak was the father of Yaakov. Yaakov was the father of Yehuda and his brothers. Yehuda was the father of Peretz and Zerach. Their mother was Tamar. Peretz was the father of Hetzron. Hetzron was the father of Ram. Ram was the father of Amminadab. Amminadab was the father of Nahshon. Nahshon was the father of Salmon. Salmon was the father of Boaz. His mother was Rachav. Boaz was the father of Ovid. His mother was Ruth. Ovid was the father of Yisha. Yisha was the father of David, the king. David was the father of Shlomo. His mother was the wife of Uriah. Shlomo was the father of Rehavam. Rehavam was the father of Aviah. Aviah was the father of Asa. Asa was the father of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat was the father of Joram. Joram was the father of Uzziyahu. Uzziyahu was the father of Jotam. Jotam was the father of Achaz. Achaz was the father of Hezekiah. Hezekiah was the father of Manasseh. Manasseh was the father of Ammon. Ammon was the father of Yeshayahu. Yeshayahu was the father of Yechaniah and his brothers at the time of the exile to Babal. After the Babylonian exile, Yechaniah was the father of Shatiel. Shatiel was the father of Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel was the father of Evahud. Evahud was the father of Elikim. Elikim was the father of Azur. Azur was the father of Zadok. Zadok was the father of Yachin. Yachin was the father of Elachud. Elachud was the father of Eleazar. Eleazar was the father of Matan. Matan was the father of Yaakov. Yaakov was the father of Joseph, the husband of Miriam, from whom was born the Yeshua, who was called the Messiah. Thus, there were 14 generations from Abraham to David, 14 generations from David to the Babylonian exile, and 14 generations from the Babylonian exile to the Messiah. Here is how the birth of Yeshua, the Messiah, took place. When his mother Miriam was engaged to Joseph, before they were married, she was found to be pregnant from the Ruach HaKodesh. Her husband-to-be, Joseph, was a man who did what was right. So he made plans to break the engagement quietly, rather than put her to public shame. But while he was thinking about this, an angel of Yahweh appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Miriam home with you as your wife, for what has been conceived in her is from the Ruach HaKodesh. She will give birth to a son, and you are to name him Yeshua, which means Yahweh saves, because he will save his people from their sins." All this happened in order to fulfill what Yahweh had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and bear a son, and they will call him Emmanuel. That name means God is with us. When Joseph awoke, he did what the angel of Yahweh had told him to do. He took Miriam home to be his wife, but he did not have sexual relations with her until she had given birth to a son, and he named him Yeshua. So what prophet was it? It was the prophet Isaiah. So we got Isaiah 7:14, and we'll go to this Bible. Isaiah 14. This is a good one. "Therefore Yahweh himself shall give you an oat. See, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and call his name Emmanuel. So the 4 questions: how is it demonstrated to love God, love others as God loves us, produce spiritual fruit, and bear one another's burdens? I think it was clearly demonstrated that Joseph loves God because he listened and obeyed. He definitely loves others as he loves himself because he took his wife and didn't put her to public shame when he could have easily done that. Produce spiritual fruit. Let's read the spiritual fruit. But the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5:22 and 23, but the fruit of the Spirit is love. Joseph was loving. Joy, he brought joy in Miriam. Peace, he definitely brought her peace. Patience, he showed patience. He's very kind. He's very good, faithful, definitely was humble, and he had self-control because they didn't have sex until she gave birth. Bear one another's burdens. Huge. He definitely was bearing the burden, and maybe what helped him do that, besides God's angel telling him to do it, was he was empathizing with her, thinking, well, if I were in her shoes, I definitely would want her to do this for me.